It is a victory Monday as Notre Dame beat NC State 45-24 over the weekend. And Marcus Freeman, the Irish's second-year head coach, held his press conference earlier this afternoon, joined by Jack Sobel to talk about some of the key points from the presser. And as always, Jack will lead with injury updates. And folks, please do hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to our channel for more content. He talked about, let's see, 4 different guys today. We'll start with JD Bertrand. What's the update on him?
Yeah, JD Bertrand is in concussion protocol. He'll be in a non-contact jersey today, but his game status is to be determined.
Okay, so I would say pretty good news there. And it's not like Notre Dame's really going to need Bertrand against Central Michigan. Could be a good opportunity for some of those younger guys to get in the game, or Jaden Osbury, Drake Bowen, Jalen Sneed, some guys that come to mind there. Devin Ford, Jack, and it's interesting on Ford because you missed the NC State game and he didn't get to play much against Tennessee State. And then Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price are kind of just emerging, maybe past Devin Ford. It's an interesting room right there.
Yeah, it's an interesting room, and you would think that they can't play all 5 guys in every game, but I think Ford still brings something to the table just as a pass blocker. He looked at it as a pass catcher in fall camp. He is expected to play Saturday for what it's worth. Marcus Freeman gave us that update. So I wouldn't count Ford completely out of the rotation, but you're right that in his absence, we know they like Jabron Payne as a pass catcher and pass blocker. We know Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love in small doses for now are terrific runners right now. And I think that room just in general, there's a lot of buzz in the offseason about what's that room going to look like behind Estime. They don't have any experience. I think they've really put those questions to bed in the first 3 games.
I mean, Notre Dame fans watching this in the comments, you let me know this is the best running back room in Notre Dame since when? Because this 5-headed monster really is outstanding. Any of these 5 are starting at other, FBS programs, or Power 5 programs.
It was interesting. I saw the snap counts. It was pretty much a dead 50-50 split between Estime and not Estime this week against NC State. I think that's really the goal going forward, or at least it should be. And Payne, Love, and Price. I think Love had 1 more snap than Payne and Price, but they were all they had split 30 reps between them pretty evenly. So I think that's kind of what they're going with.
Okay, Gabriel Rubio, nah, you're not going to be back.
Nothing's happening on that front. Gabriel Rubio remains out. It's increasingly sounded like we talked about this a little bit before we started recording, but it's increasingly sounded like Gabriel Rubio might not make it back for the Ohio State game.
And what was his injury, Jack?
He had a knee injury. He got arthroscopic surgery on it recently. It was expected to be, Freeman used the phrase a couple week thing. It's been a couple weeks. He remains out.
Yeah, when you use the word arthroscopic, that's a tough word to say. That sounds like it's going to be out for a while. It would be surprising at this point if he's back. But so more Donovan Heinisch and, of course, Howard Cross, a very important player on this Notre Dame defensive line. And then Eli Raridan with his ACL injury. Freeman said we don't want to push his return.
Yeah, he remains. Freeman said not 100% out this week, but I think everyone would be surprised if Eli Raridan returned. Plus, the tight end room is playing pretty well right now. I would say Davis Sherwood has made an impact as a blocker, playing 15 snaps a game or so. Holden Stays has been great as a receiver. Mitchell Evans, I think, has been solid, and he plays almost every snap. So no reason at all to rush Raridan back right now.
Yeah, so he had his first ACL injury during his senior year basketball season. And man, I mean, he was off to an incredible start on the hardwood, and then injures, it has his second ACL, this past season. So physical and mental, recovery for Eli Raridan. Don't need to rush him at all. I wouldn't. If he returns this season, I would expect it to be later, but we will see there. So interesting stuff. In Notre Dame's first 3 games, the Irish had, touchdown drives at the end of the first half. Freeman was asked about that. The interesting quote here, Jack, from Freeman, if there's more than 30 seconds, I'm going to call a timeout, to get the ball back into Sam Hartman's hands.
Yeah, I love that from Freeman. I think Notre Dame's fans are going to agree with that. Like 30 seconds or more, he trusts Sam Hartman. Even as and I wrote about this in Five Thoughts after the game. Like even as the offense in the past couple drives really struggled. I think they had back-to-back three and outs and then a missed field goal before that 2-minute drill. But Freeman still is like, I believe in these guys. I believe in Sam Hartman. I believe in Jared Parker's play calling in that situation. And he's gonna call timeout, stop the clock, get the ball back with it as little as 30 seconds left. And we saw this, like Freeman said also that, they drill 2-minute drill every day. We saw that in fall camp for the last 2 weeks of it or so. Like they were drilling 2-minute drills with media present to start practice, first team and second team every single day. And it's something they work on, something they pride themselves in. And it's something we're going to keep seeing going forward as long as they get the chance.
When I watch football, it'll be interesting because like you'll see a team struggle offensively and then they get a 2-minute drill and it's like, oh, now we can go 40 yards in 15 seconds. And then the natural question can kind of pop up. Can you do that other times in the game? And Freeman was asked that. And he said, and this is paraphrasing, we have the ability to be a fast up-tempo team if we want to. That's just not been in the game plan yet for Notre Dame to do that, middle of the first quarter.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame hasn't really felt the need to. Their offense has been like, obviously it's been most successful in that 2-minute drill, but it's working fine otherwise. And I don't think they want to be 100% up tempo. Freeman said, he believes in balance. He believes in huddling up. He believes in running the football, not going full air raid. And it's hard to argue with the results so far. I think like if huddling up, stalls for longer than it did against NC State, then maybe you mix in some tempo when it's not necessarily 2 minutes. But for now, I think you'll see a healthy balance like you've seen the first 3 games.
Yeah, the thing about the up tempo is if you go 3 and out,
yeah,
in about 2 minutes of real time, that defense is going to be ticked because they're trying to get a breather. But yeah, when it works, it does work beautifully. Last but not least, and Jack, I'm interested for your takes on this. Freeman was asked about spreading the ball out. And this is something I talked about over the weekend in my show with Tim Hyde, that Notre Dame doesn't have a number one receiver. And you would like to have that. But also, if you're a defensive coordinator, it's got to be a bit of a headache because, and this is what Freeman said, paraphrase, on any play, any receiver has a chance to get the ball. The running backs, tight ends, receivers, Notre Dame's throwing it to everyone. And that's something that he talked about. Last year, it was Michael Mayer as the number 1, 2, and 3 option. This year, it really can't be anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Freeman specifically mentioned Mayer. Like, last year, if Mayer had one-on-one coverage, chances are the ball is going to Mayer. And while no one is denying Michael Mayer was and is a terrific football player for Notre Dame and now for the Las Vegas Raiders, but that wasn't the best move. That wasn't the best thing for the passing game. Having that one guy and having almost no receiving threats behind him. This year, it's different. Like they've thrown to 9, 13, and 8 guys in the first 3 games, respectively. And not just thrown to, had receptions by 9,
Right.
13, and 8 guys in the first 3 games. And Freeman said, like, that's difficult for someone to defend. There's no go-to guy. You don't know exactly where the ball is going. And against some of these tougher opponents, you'd like to see someone emerge right now. But I think for now, like what's working is working, and what's working is spreading that ball around.
I would like to apologize to any Chargers fans watching this video because I am wearing my Ryan Tannehill jersey that I got when I was like 19 years old. I was shocked that this thing still fit me when I put it on. So unless my boss tells me otherwise, we'll be wearing Dolphins jerseys on the Mondays after a Miami Dolphins win. But anyways, Jack, appreciate your time breaking down this Marcus Freeman press conference. Folks, please do hit the thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. And thank you for your time watching that as well. We will be back with Jack. He'll appear in our live show Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's when Tim Hyde and I will get that thing going. So please do tune in for that and subscribe so you don't miss any of our other Notre Dame updates.